Greetings, one and all, and welcome to the Open-Handed Classroom. I want to extend a special thank you to you, yes, you, for stopping by. Now, students, before us, as you can see on the screen, is a math question. And I got this math question from the 2018 Paper 1 Mathematics BJC examination. Notice that this question is currently unsolved, but I assure you that by the end of this video, this question would be completed. But I have a question for you. And the question is, are you ready? Are you ready? Then let's dive in. We begin by reading the instructions, and the instruction states the following. Answer all questions in the spaces provided. Show all necessary working. And notice question 3A. It says express 7/10 as a decimal. Express 7/10 as a decimal. And this is worth 1 mark. I'm going to give you an opportunity to attempt this question on your own. So pause the video, attempt this question on your own, and I'll see you on the other side of the pause. All right, now that you have attempted this question on your own, let's consider dealing with this question together. Notice that the task is to express 7/100, not 7/10, 7/100 as a decimal. And let us proceed as follows. So let me divide the screen into two halves. Okay, so let's do that. And let us consider this side to be steps. Okay, steps. And this side to be working. Okay, working. Okay, so now the first thing that I want you to do is I want you to place a decimal. Place a decimal. Place a decimal. Place a decimal to the right of the 7. To the right of the 7. Of the 7. Okay, so let's do that on our working side. Okay, so we take 7 and we place a decimal point to the right of 7. In fact, let's use block. Okay, let's use block. So we take 7 and we are going to place a decimal point to the right of 7. Okay. Okay, awesome. Okay, so we take 7, we place a decimal point to the right of 7. Okay, now what's the second step? Well, the second step is the following. Let's erase this. The second step is the following. We want to note that since there are, recall what's our objective here. We have the fraction 7/10, 7/100. And notice that that 100 has 2 zeros. So 100 has 2 zeros. Okay? So since 100 has 2 zeros, what I want you to do is I want you to move, right? I want you to move the decimal point 2 times to the left. Okay, so we want you to move the decimal point, right, twice to the left. Okay, so let us do that. So we're going to move the decimal point twice to the left. So we're going to say one. Okay, sorry, that went to the end slide. Let's go back. So we're going to say 1, right? 2. Okay, so we took this decimal point and we moved it twice to the right. Okay, so now that we've done that, let's move on to the third step. Okay, let's move on to the third step. Let me erase. All right. So the third step. What is the third step? Sorry, let's use red for that. The third step. For the third step, I want you to place 2 zeros in the empty spaces to the left of the 7. Okay, so we want to place zeros, right? Place zeros on the empty spaces, right? And you may be saying, instructor, what empty spaces? All right, notice that we took this decimal point and we carried it over 2 spaces to the left, right? So that means that currently this decimal point is, we have 7, right? And we have, let me color code it, and we have 1, 2. That means this decimal point is right here. Okay, it's right here. Okay, so it's right here. And so I want you to place zeros on the empty spaces. Which empty spaces? Right? This empty space, right? And this empty space. Okay? So now we have the following decimal. What decimal do we have now? We have the decimal 0.07. And guess what? This decimal 0.07 is the decimal representation of the fraction 7 over 100. So, writing it clearly, we have what? Writing it clearly, we have that what? That 7 over 100 equals 0.07. And this is the correct answer. All right, awesome.